Hi, it's Carl. I'm so fired up to introduce a video which can transform your business the day you watch it. Meet my friend and sales prospecting expert, MJ Durkin, as we captured him live on stage at the Leadership Conference in Dallas. After working with MJ all summer, I asked him to work with our leaders to develop a strategy on how to grow your business using what I think is the most compelling tool we've ever created. It's called The One Thing I Tell All My Patients Is Advice from 100 Doctors, and it contains insightful comments from interviews we've done with over 100 doctors. MJ will outline specific tips and how a simple follow-up can turn someone from just curious to an actual Shakeology customer who you help tap into this revolution in health. Pay attention, because when MJ Durkin gets on stage, it's always fun and it's always valuable information you can put right into action. Here's MJ.
How you doing? I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. Have you been having a great time here? Yeah? Awesome. I want to really get some teaching done with you today. I want to really drive home to you how powerful this new tool that has been developed is. And maybe for some of you that have heard it, you are starting to understand how powerful it is. And some of you who have not will understand it very quickly as soon as you listen to this tool and you hear the power in this CD. And I want you to keep in mind that there are other organizations that have taken a room like this and blown it up 100 times because of a good prospecting tool like the Advice from 100 Doctors CD. Okay? So understand that this tool can actually take, if you have goals to expand your business, how many want to grow their business? Okay? And I'll talk more later about why it's so important you as the leaders are doing this, but this is such a tremendous tool to really, to drive activity. If you're going to take some notes, write this down. One of the great things about a tool like this CD is that it can drive activity, and I'm going to talk more about that, but activity is all about getting something in front of the prospect. Activity is all about punching the buttons on a phone, making the dial. It is about meeting that new person. It is about following up with someone that they talked to 6 months ago, a year ago. This tool can drive activity like you have never seen before. Now, we'll first talk about the idea of what I call, and you've seen this, if you've worked with me before, you've seen this, I call it the cornerstone of prospecting. And it might also be referred to as the cornerstone of training, because whenever I am developing a training program for anyone, we always look at these 4 areas. We look at the belief systems that the coach or the salesperson has. We look at what techniques will be used. We look at the strategy, the overall strategy or the plan for the tool or the presentation, and then we look at what can drive activity, what can keep people actively making the exposures, getting the product in front of folks. So I'm going to touch on all of these to a certain extent today, and I'm going to start with asking you a few questions. And the questions here are, how many of you would like to see every coach on your team get on Shakeology Home Direct? By the way, what would happen to your teams right now if just everybody was on Home Direct and stayed on it? Right? Awesome stuff, yes? Yes. Okay? So number 1, this is a tool that can help you to get that done, to get everybody, to make them believers, right? You all believe, right or wrong, okay? How about 6 levels down, do they believe? That's the issue, right? That's the frustration you have as leaders. What's happening 6 levels down? What's happening when you're not there? So that's what can be so powerful about this tool, is getting the belief into your current organization and just watching your volume immediately increase and go to Success Club and beyond. Now, here's another question. How many of you would like to see a new coach come in and get 3 new retail customers every time they come into the business? Yes or no? Is this an interactive crowd or what? Okay, nice. Nice. I like interaction. So let me ask you this. What happens if a new coach comes in and gets 3 new customers right in the first month? They get 3 retail customers. What is the benefit to you as a leader having that person in your organization?
Excited to stay in the business.
Say that again.
They're excited to stay in the business.
They're excited to stay in the business. Why?
Because they've made money and they see it works.
Yeah. Because they made money and they see it works. Because, write that down, because they made money and they see that it works. People leave the business because they're not making money. If you want your business to work, it's about helping people to make money. Obviously, in this company, it's about helping them reach their health and their nutrition goals, but it is also about helping them make money. This will help them make money, right or wrong?
Right.
Now, let's just go crazy for a minute. Let's assume that every new coach that you brought in, you had a system. Okay, here's the question I want you to ponder in the next 40 minutes that we're working together. What would happen if you had a tool to teach each person to get 6 new retail customers the first month in the business and every month in the business? What would happen to your business? It would go crazy, yes? So that's the question. The question you need to ask yourself is this tool, will this tool do that for you? Because if it can do that for you, if it can, and I don't know that it can at the moment, but let's suppose we can prove that it can, then what should you be doing with the tool? You should be fanatical evangelists about the tool. You should be rabid prospectors. You should be insane to hand out this tool and to show your people. Doesn't your heart break for some of your people that seem to be trying so hard and can't seem to get anybody in the business? Yeah. As a leader, doesn't your heart break? Yeah. So you have to find a way to teach them to make money to stay in, and this, I believe, as you see the evidence, will help you to do that. Now, this model is based on the fact, and if Brett Blake is around, he can help me with this. I had Brett run numbers on a 2x2 model with every month in your organization, somebody sponsoring 2 coaches, and each one of those coaches, in this example, does 6 retail home direct Shakeologies. Looking at these numbers, look at what happens to the volume points. These are volume points. Wow. Yeah, I should hear a more audible wow. Wow. So what does 476 million volume points mean to you as a coach? Cha-ching. Let me tell you what it means to you as a coach. And remember, let's talk about what it means to you, and let's talk about what it means to the coaches on your team. You're making it. You're here at leadership because you're making money. A real leader teaches their people how to make money. Write that down. That would be a good thing to write down. A real leader teaches their people how to make money. So here's what happens. In month 12, you've got 25 business centers, and Carl and Brett have to go in the back room and revise the comp plan because it is maxed out at $12 million. The check will be $15 million. Carl and Brett they will be very despondent to have to go in the back room and to figure out how to get some more bonuses in there to get you your $15 million. But will you do that, Brett?
Yeah, I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll be happy. They'll be happy to do it. They'll be happy to do it. Now, this is insane, right? It's crazy. It's unbelievable, yes?
No.
Well, all right. Well, let's dumb it down a little bit. No offense. So you get same model, 2x2, everybody sponsoring 2 people per month and teaching each new coach to get 1 retail Shakeology customer home direct. You're only at somewhere around 120 million volume points. Thank you. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Aww. And so the horrible problem with that is that it's only a check for 1.8 million. Again. Do you believe now that it's worth it to teach each coach to get one new retail customer each month? Yes. Do you believe that? All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's assume that each coach is handing out 60. How many exposures does the game plan tell us that we should be looking to get per day? 2. You're looking for 2. 2 times 30, this is Brett and I came up with this number. You're handing out 2 CDs. You're handing out 2 of these new CDs, Advice from 100 Doctors CDs. You're handing out 2 a day. You're looking to hand out 60 per month at a 10% closing ratio. Now, by the way, how does a 10% closing ratio sound? You get 60, you give this CD to 60 people. There's about 6 people to a table here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This first row, 2 tables in the back row. I give a CD, and even if I do it horribly, even if I don't have good technique, if 60 people listen to this CD and they hear 35 doctors, how many of you have heard the CD? Okay? I love the lady who says, oh, the only problem is you have to clean the blender. I love that one, right? Okay? There is so much. How can you tell me if 60 people, if I gave this CD to 60 people and I got them to listen to it, do you think a 10% closing ratio would be fair? Yes. Well, that's the 6 per month, folks. That's the 6 per month. If you're horrible at it, if you just hand out CDs like chiclets, and you don't have any technique, you don't have any follow-up, you don't call anybody, I hand out 60 of these CDs, I say, listen to this CD, and 60 people listen. Do you think I could get a 1.5% closing ratio?
Yes.
There's your 1 a month. If each coach will hand out this CD 60 times, if they do it poorly, they're going to have at least that 1 Shakeology customer is going to come in. By the way, are you starting to believe that this might be worth it to invest in this CD? Yes. So let's talk about some technique. We have to talk about how to set this up. Now, understand this. Handing out CDs and expecting people to call you back is delusional. Yes? It is delusional. Now, what do a lot of your coaches do?
Just that.
That's what they do.
Let me tell you, I've talked to them all summer long at the Summer of Success Tour. Guess what I heard? Well, I'm really good at meeting people, and I meet new people, and I got P90X, and people ask me about it, and I get their email, and then I send them the link, and then I never hear from them again. No kidding. I heard this story over and over and over again. I heard one story where the lady was so excited in Nashville, she said, oh my goodness, we were just down at the Panera Bread, and we were so excited, and I had the healthiest meal of the day shirt on, and somebody said, what's that? And they were so interested, and I gave them my card, and oh man, it was a great contact. And I'm like, that's really good. Did you get their number? Oh no. What's going to happen, leaders? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Here's what you have to do when you're handing out tools. You have to set the expectation. Write this down. The prospect does not know what to do with the tool. Yeah, really, they don't know what to do with it. So you have to do what I call an upfront contract or an upfront agenda. You have to teach people what to do with the tool. So I want you to set up the expectation. Write that down. You are setting up the expectation. So you say to somebody, I wanted to give you this audio CD, and it talks about a product. And I've been using this product to help me. Now right there, lose weight, feel better, have more energy. You put your own story in, yes? Okay? And I wouldn't get too super complicated about it, but I would use whatever anecdotally your story is, show them a before and an after card, whatever. Here's the closing question. If I gave you this CD to pop into your CD player, would you listen to it as you were leaving home today from work? Now, what's going on here as I'm saying these words to the prospect? What's happening? This is a Jedi mind trick, okay? This is bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to me. Yes, I'll bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to you, yes. Yeah. Would you listen to this and would you put it in your CD player in your car on the way home when you leave this interaction?
Yes.
See? You tell them what to do. You just can't hand a CD and say, listen to this. What does the prospect do with it? Yeah, it gets put on their desk. It gets put somewhere and they don't listen to it. If the prospect says, sure, I will, you hand them the CD. What happens, coaches, if they say they won't?
Don't give it to them.
Very good. He says, don't give it to them. If they don't, ask them for $1? No, I like that idea better. You give me $1, I'll give you the CD. You didn't qualify. Could have got a free CD, but you screwed it up. As a matter of fact, I want $2 now that I think about it. Can we give volume points on the CDs? That'd be awesome. If we, no, never mind. All right. So the prospect says, sure, I will. Now, again, you're going to set up the expectation, right or wrong? Right. Great. I think you'll find it really interesting because we actually interviewed 100 doctors about this product, and on this CD, there are 35 doctors that talk about the benefits of this product, and many of them actually using the product themselves. By the way, statistically, 20% of the people will listen to it right away, and within 24 hours, they'll call me and say, hey, I need to try this product right away. If this thing is as good as it sounds, I need to get signed up. How do I get some of that Shakeology stuff? What am I doing here, coaches? I'm setting the expectation. Another 20% will listen to the CD, and they'll call me in 2 or 3 days. And they'll say something like, can I get a sample? Sounds really cool. I want some more information. Do you have a brochure? Do you have a video on it? Something of that nature. And by the way, a small percentage, an elite percentage, will call me as soon as they finish listening to the CD, and they'll say to me, hey, if this stuff is that good, I want to know how I can make some money off this thing. Can you tell me more about this? And you can recap it. 20% call me in 24 hours and say, I want to sign up. Another 20% say, I need more information. And a small percentage, maybe 2 to 5%, say, I want to know about this as a business. Is there a way to make money from this? Now, I don't know which group you'll fall into, but I'm interested to see what you think, and I'm interested to see how soon you call me. Now, your cell phone number is, your email address is. Now, even though you've set up that expectation, coaches, what do you know as leaders, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit around waiting for this person to call you back? No. Let me give you, I'm going to give you a tip that's not in the slides. You know my concept of the list? You have your paper list on you? Yes. Okay. How many of you have your paper list on you? Raise your hands. Okay, the training's not working. All right, all right, get the paper list on you, right? Even at a leadership function, get the paper list on you, and every time you hand out a CD, you take that list and you write advice from 100 doctors CD on the top of the list. There's 48 names and there's 48 spaces, and you use those 48 spaces, and every time you give someone a CD, you write their name on that list. And you carry that list as your follow-up list. And you know as leaders that you're going to have to call them back within 24 to 48 hours, right or wrong. Right. And you've got to teach your people to do that. You have to explain to your people, you need to do trainings on this. You need to do conference calls on this. You need to do webinars on this. You need to teach your people that they follow up. Okay? Even though we're setting up the expectation, we still want to make sure that they are following up. As I said before, handing out the CD and expecting people to call you and order is delusional. And as we talked about, if you were handing out 60 of these CDs per month, could you get one retail customer by accident? Absolutely. Just think about that. Think about how powerful that is. Think about how powerful the idea if every single person in your organization was doing this. Now, follow up. When should you follow up after handing this CD to someone? Yeah, some of you wait too long to follow up. Some of you are afraid to be too pushy. Let me give you some advice from an expert on selling. Be pushy. Well, really, be pushy. I believe in today's society right now, people are looking for leaders. I believe that they're scared like they've never been scared in the last 30 years, right or wrong? And everything that they believed, what has happened to it in the last 3 years? It's flipped 180 degrees, yes? Yes. So, where 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5 years ago, you might have been hesitant to recommend something to somebody, I believe that now is the time to say to somebody, I recommend this. I think it's a good idea. I am doing it. I think you should do it. We've become so skittish. We've become so concerned about hurting people's feelings. You know what? Hurt some feelings once in a while. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. Because I have to tell you what, I was doing a program in Massachusetts yesterday in Boston in the morning, and a gentleman came up to me and he had my order form in his hands. I had just given a 1-hour presentation in front of about 600 people, and he is trying to make the decision to invest $157. That's the package. He's trying to invest, he's trying to decide, and he's asking me questions. How often are the webinars? Are they recorded? He's asking very good qualifying questions. And here is my close to him. I said to him, listen, you will love these webinars. They will help you. If you use the material in them, they will help you to build your business. And I said to him, and if you get even one customer as a result of attending these webinars, will it be worth it to you? And in their pay plan, he said, yes. And I said, great, go ahead and check off that box. You'll love it. Now, do you think I believe in my product? I do believe in it. And I believe in it so much that I'm willing to look that man in the eyes, in the cranium. By the way, whenever you're delivering a price, whenever you're giving the price, you always look them right in their soul. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed if you go to buy something, especially if it's a high-ticket item, and you ask to see that, you ask the salesperson, it's the moment of truth. Okay, how much is this car? How much is this flat screen TV? Have you ever seen where salespeople look? Their shoes. They look everywhere else. It's like, the price, let me see. It's $5,000. Because what are they afraid of? They're afraid of that rejection. But notice, by the way, picture yourself in that scenario. Picture yourself asking for the price of the new crossover vehicle that you're looking for that costs about 40 grand, and you go to ask the salesperson the price as the customer. Where are your eyes? Yeah, you're looking right at them. Why are you looking right at them? Because you want to see if they believe. Write that down. That's profound. You want to see if they believe. Because if you ask somebody the price and they can't look you in the eyes, then belief is not transferred. If you believe in something, you look someone in the eyes. You speak strongly about it. You believe something, some of you will defend your favorite sports team more than you'll defend Shakeology. You'll argue, you'll dig in, you'll have statistics. You'll tell me that the Yankees buy championships. Which they do. And we're proud of it. Let's talk about the follow-up call. After you hand out the CD, you have to make a follow-up call, right or wrong? Right. Hi, it's MJ. I'm calling from Team Beachbody. Did you have a chance to listen to the CD that I gave you about Shakeology? First thing you got to ask them is, did they listen to it? Now, if they tell you they didn't listen to it, how do you follow that line of thought out? What's next? Why not? What, was there a reason that you didn't? See, I'm always trying to figure out on a scale of 0 to 10 where the prospect is, okay? I call this the DRS, the Durkin rating scale. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 is the prospect is not a good quality prospect. 10 is they are a very good quality prospect. Whenever I'm interacting with a prospect, I'm trying to figure out where they are on a scale of 0 to 10. If they told me they did not listen to the CD, where are they now on my scale? They're closer to 0 than they are to 10, right or wrong? Yes. Okay? Now, if they say, I didn't listen to it because I really don't have that much interest in health and nutrition, where are they on my scale? 0. And then you ask them for the dollar. You take the dollar first. That's right. I'm not refunding your dollar. Right. See, based on their answer, it's always a, write this down, you're always sorting and filtering. You're always sorting and filtering. And especially you as leaders, you have to understand as leaders, your time is very valuable, is it not? Is your time valuable? Yes. You need to be in front of people that are wanting to be coaches, that are wanting better nutrition, that are wanting to make more money. Your job is to keep getting in front of qualified people. So let's say they say, yes, I did listen to it. Say, great. What did you like best about it? The greatest question you can ask anybody in the world about anything that they have looked at, anything, is what did you like best about it? Why is that so important? Straight to positive, yes? It's straight to positive, and you're focusing them on what's good, yes? Yes. God forbid that we should all focus on more of what's good, right? I ask my sons this all the time. Oh, we went on that camping trip. What did you like best about it? What was great about it? I don't say, how was the camping trip? I say, tell me what you like best. Focus on what is good. So you focus the prospect on what's good. What did you like best about it? Well, I like the idea that it could help you lose weight. Now, coaches, get this. Some of you start closing right there. Some of you are like, bacon, 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 close, home direct, 6 times, and 1.8 million. Calm down. Don't close too early and don't close too late. Write that down. Don't close too early and don't close too late. So if they said, I like the idea that it can help you lose weight, what's your follow-up question?
How much weight are you looking to lose?
How much weight are you looking to lose? Okay, good. What else did you like? Oh, hold on. They just served us up a softball, right? There's the softball. I want to lose weight.
How would it feel?
How soon do you want to start losing?
We've got 14 different selling systems here that are coming at me. How about simply, why did that catch your attention? Let them tell you. You don't focus them on, well, how much weight. Say, well, why is that important to you? Whenever anybody gives me a potential buying indicator, I say to them, great. I need to increase my sales. Oh, good. Why'd you say that? That's called, in psychology, that's called an expander, okay? Psychologists use a thing called expanders because they need to get their their patients talking. They're selling just as much as we are, okay? So you need to expand them a little bit, and you need to say, why did that catch your attention? Now, you won't even hardly believe this. You'll think this is a plant. but this is actually a conversation that I had on Thursday when I was at the hair salon getting my hair cut, and I said to Jan said to me, "Boy, you look a lot slimmer. What are you doing?" Shakeology and P90X. Jan is about 57 years old. Jan is a sweetheart. She's cut my hair for 10 years. She's got 3 sons. All 3 of them went to West Point. All 3 sons went to West Point, served in the armed forces. And one of them is now finally getting married in his 30s. And she is so excited. And she says to me, "I am on a cucumber diet." And I said, "That sounds great." Yeah, where can I get some of that? Here's $1. I'll give you $1 for that cucumber diet. She said, "My goal is to lose 100 pounds in the next 6 months." Piece of cake. See, that's belief. That's belief. I went right out to my car. I gave away another Shakeology cup. I gave away a sample of Shakeology. That was mine for my lunch that day. Right? I gave it to Jan. She said, "Oh, you don't have to give me the shaker cup." I said, "Don't worry. I got a dozen of them now, so I'm fine. I can't run out of them now." A good friend of mine sent me some. So this is an actual conversation that I had. Don't tell me that these conversations can't happen if you're looking to hand out the CD. If you're looking to hand out the CD, then what's going to happen is it is going to start to cause you to engage with people. Do you get the genius of that? Yes. You see, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but it's such genius to have a tool that will help you to engage in a conversation. It is also incredibly helpful to have something to hand to them. Because when you hand something to them, write this down, that's called an attention deflector. When you hand something to a prospect, it's an attention deflector. What happens when you hand them, you're going to hand them that CD that says, "The one thing I tell my patients, advice from 100 doctors." What are they going to do with the CD? Look at it. They're going to look at it, yes. And then you can now talk to them without having to put your laser beams on them and them feel like they're being sold something, because they'll be looking at the attention deflector, and that's when you start saying, "Listen, I wanted you to listen to this CD. It's about a product that's been helping me to lose weight. I've really, it's been very, very helpful to me. I love the product. Would you put it in your CD player on the way home, and would you give this a listen?" "Yes, I will." "Great. And by the way, 20%, and a small percentage." So that prospect says, "I need to lose 100 pounds in 6 months. Do we have a good prospect? Yes. Notice the next line. "Great, let me tell you what I recommend." Don't pussyfoot around asking people to order. Tell them what you recommend. "Let me tell you what I would recommend. We have a program called Shakeology Home Direct that will deliver Shakeology to your home every month. It's $119. It's about $4 or so a meal. If the numbers aren't right, I apologize. I think they're pretty close. By the way, listen, I got everybody else's shake. No kidding. I mean, you look at my pantry. I got Arbonne, Herbalife. I got the Isogenics. This stuff tastes like trisodium phosphate, the stuff they use to clean walls. It's like a graveyard. I was thinking of bringing them here and throwing them out, I have all of them. This is the best stuff I trained everybody. This is the best stuff I've ever tasted. It's the only, keep going, yeah. It's the only stuff that fills me up. It's the only stuff that actually satiates me so that I don't eat more. And it is the only stuff that gives me great energy. I mean, it's an awesome product, is it not? Yes. Okay, so if you believe, that's why you need to be handing out those 60 CDs a month. So we've got this program. It's $119 a month. It's about $4 or so a meal. You can use it as a replacement, to replace one meal a day. I recommend it. Are you near your computer? I'm sending you this link. I'm going to walk you through the process. And you assume the sale. You try to close them. You ask for the business. You have to teach your people to say, "I recommend that you sign up for Shakeology Home Direct." Teach them that. And guess what happens? If they say no, then you move them to the next step. If they say no, you say, great, I recommend that you sign up for Shakeology Home Direct. Let's get you started. No. Now what do you do next? Why? It's good. I like why. Understand all of their objections are what? Their excuses, they're smoke. Don't even listen to them. See, whenever you can't close, you need to take them to the next step. Okay, let's get you a sample. Do you like chocolate or berry? I can stop by today around 2 p.m. or would this evening be better? Another close. My clients have had great results trying Shakeology even for 1 month. I really recommend it. You will love it. Don't say it that fiercely, but oh, he really is an evangelist about Shakeology. You'll love it. Let's sign you up. No problem. You don't want to sign up? That's okay. Let's get you to a workout with my compliments. We have one on Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. Which would be better for you? No, let's get you a brochure. No, there's a video. No, here's a testimonial. No, here's a this. You need to keep taking them through the next step until they say to you, don't ask me about this anymore. Then, and only then, you can cross them off the list, right or wrong. Okay? Yeah, clap for that. Teach your people to plant their feet and to have some steel in their spine, right? And teach them that if they believe, they will ask again and they will ask again. Notice, I'm not trying to twist somebody's arm. I'm just saying, listen, I think you need more information. What does no mean?
Not yet.
It means not just yet. Okay, maybe I need to get your brochure. Maybe I need to put you on an email list so that you're getting emails from me on a regular basis so you know about our workouts and you know about our events. I don't want to lose touch with you. You decide as leaders what the next step is going to be. What's the biggest problem that you have as a leader as your team grows?
Staying in contact with everybody.
Staying in contact with them. Duplication. Let's get something straight here, folks. The speed of the team is always the speed of the leader. The speed of the team is always the speed of the leader. From my heart, let me tell you something. They look up to you. These men and women that you have brought into your organization to change their lives, they look up to you. They need you. And after about 30, 60, or 90 days, they don't care what you say to them.
Right.
After 30, 60, or 90 days, and you're giving your motivational speeches, your people cannot hear you. It's like they hear what I imagine dogs hear when we talk. Bacon. Go out. Outside. After 60 to 90 days, your people do not hear you anymore. They don't hear you anymore. There's only one thing they will do. They will emulate what you do. You have to be so careful about what you do, about what you say, and you even need to be careful about what you think. You need to be careful about the way you even think about this company. If you start to complain in your mind about customer service, about this company, or anything you don't like about it, it is going to be transmitted in a cellular fashion to your people, and you will hurt them. You need to focus on what's right in your business. You need to focus on what's right with Beachbody. You need to get on the program and understand that there's a vision here, and Carl and John have that vision, and you need to trust them. You need to trust them. They've done a pretty good job so far. Yes? You don't want to be bad-mouthing the system. You don't want to be talking about, coach relations isn't doing this or doing that. You shouldn't even be thinking it, because when you're thinking that stuff, it's hurting your business. Well, let me talk to you about driving activity. If you want to drive activity, I'm going to tell you right now how to do 1.8 million in 12 months. You ready?
Yeah.
You do it yourself. You do it yourself. Every time you get on a call with your people, you say, oh my goodness, you can't believe I handed out 5 Advice from 100 Doctor CDs today. Unbelievable. I signed up 2 new retail customers. I've got 2 people that are looking at becoming coaches. I am so excited. They need to hear your stories. They need to hear that you're out there doing it. I'm going to ask you for the next 90 days, every person in this room, what do we have, about 400 people? 300 some odd people. Imagine if every one of you handed out 60 of these CDs and then reported back to your people. And then in another 30 days, you handed out another 60. And then in another 30 days, you handed out another 60. And you tell them about the results. They watch you moving on without them. Right. Some will follow and some will not. But if you want to give a gift to your people, if you really care about solving the obesity epidemic in this country, if you really care about really making a difference, because when you expand and you get all those people on Shakeology, is this country going to change?
Yes.
You're going to help them, you're going to help the people they're going to help, and you're going to help yourself. So here's the deal, folks. This is leadership. I'm not going to blow you out. We already got your money. Right? It's just time to tell the truth. It's the same in my business. In my business, in my company, I set the tone for the entire company. All of my employees, all the people that work with me, my vendors, I set the tone. It is my example that they follow. When I complain, they complain. When I'm working like crazy, they're working like crazy. When I'm happy, they're happy. Man, I'll tell you what, you have a very, very awesome responsibility to leave here and to take this tool and to give it your best for 90 days. I know that you will go and do it. I'll be available here the rest of the day if you want to talk or get some advice on this. I love you. Thank you so much.